Hello there everybody, this is Ashley sending my love to you from whatever reality I'm in to whatever reality you find yourself in today. I'm going to actually be making a couple of videos today because there's a few things I want to talk about, but in this particular video I want to talk about Elon Musk, because quite frankly I'd never heard of him. But he seems to have been about for quite some time, and yet I never ever heard of him. So let's think about this for a minute. I personally think that he is from a different reality entirely to the one that I come from. I'm not sure how you feel about it. I'm not sure whether he's been part of your reality forever, but certainly where I come from, he's a new phenomenon. He seems to be somebody from a blended reality, and I'm going to explain why. But the first thing I want to tackle, actually, is the Tesla Motor Company, because that's what it used to be called. And it was not set up by Elon Musk. I mean, at the moment, there seems to be an awful lot of people that believe that Elon Musk started Tesla. He didn't. Tesla Motor Company was actually started by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tappening, who set it up after, I think it was GE Motors stopped making electric cars. So they decided that they were going to do that and set up their own company, which was really quite successful, but they needed extra funding. And Elon Musk was one of the very first people that started funding the company, until he took over it and got rid of the original people, because that's exactly what happened. Along the way, he took over the company and literally got rid of the founding members, leading other people to believe that he is the founding member of Tesla Motor Company, and he really isn't. I feel so sorry for the two people that actually did start Tesla, because they had an absolutely fantastic idea and they were kicked off it, which is just about typical, isn't it? So that's the first thing. Elon Musk, first of all, he didn't belong in my reality at all in the past. I have no idea who he is, and he goes and he's I couldn't really believe that people were thinking and believing that he was the founding member of Tesla when he isn't. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say is I want to discuss SpaceX with you, because where I come from, in my reality, there was NASA. NASA did space stuff. There were a few boffins from around the world that got together and, made little experiments to try and send up rockets. This is where they were at, sending up little rockets from the desert. We got to see that kind of thing from your private investors that gathered together. Or obviously there are these private investors that are hoping to go to Mars one day, so they have their own little groups where they're making, where they're trying to do engineering and things to get privately up to Mars. But they're just nobody's ever heard of them. They're not special people. They're just boffins that get together to try and make, this is where we were at. People just sending up little rockets. But suddenly we've got this Elon Musk fella who's been around since 2002, apparently. 2002. Now, even before I was Mandela affected, before I knew anything about the Mandela effect, I have been massively interested in space. All my life. Massively interested in space. Where my hometown, Jodrell Bank, the big satellite dish, Jodrell Bank, is literally down the road from where I live. It's literally 6 miles away from my hometown. And that was the dish that supposedly tracked the landing on the moon. I say supposedly because I don't believe we ever got there. I don't believe it. I don't believe we ever stood on the moon. That's another thing entirely. But what the point is that NASA, because Elon Musk is in partnership with NASA, right? And SpaceX was founded in 2002. Now, I'm going to have to read this out because it's too much information for me to remember to tell you. But in my lifetime, I would have known about this man because I'm that interested in anything space related that I like to keep up, for my own. I'm about learning. I've always liked to learn. I learn for my own pleasure, so keeping up with everything technology-wise with space was very much, I mean, you know, it's so important to my life, such a massive passion to my life, that I would surely have heard of Elon Musk, especially as SpaceX was founded in 2002. So just bear with me a second, please, while I just read a few things out to you. Right, so as I said, SpaceX was founded in 2002, apparently. And these are SpaceX's achievements, right? They were the first privately funded liquid propellant rocket to reach orbit in 2008. Now, where I come from, what they've done is they've sent rockets up from a desert and it's come firing straight back down again. It hasn't got to orbit, it's not got out, it's not broken out or anything. Just people sending rockets up in the desert and coming straight back down again, because, you know, that's how far we'd got with anything that wasn't run by NASA itself. So that was 2008, apparently, that they were the first private company to reach orbit. They were the first private company to launch into orbit and recover a spacecraft. That was Dragon in 2010. Right, so they were the first private company to launch and recover a rocket from space in 2010, and that's Dragon. They were the first private company to send a spacecraft to the International Space Station, and that was Dragon again in 2012. So they're actually then sending spacecraft to the International Space Station. Private company sending spacecraft to the International Space Station, and that was in 2012. They were the first propulsive landing for an orbital rocket, which was Falcon 9 in 2015. So they've sent off a rocket and it's come back and landed, and that was in 2015. Never heard of it. Don't know about you, never heard of it. They had the first reuse of an orbital rocket, the same Falcon 9 in 2017. So they reused the rocket in 2017, so it's the first private company to reuse a rocket that they've used before. They're the first private company to launch an object into orbit around the sun. If anybody believes that there's a car orbiting the sun, give your head a wobble, please. There is no way there's a car out there orbiting around the sun. I'm sorry. I couldn't even believe it when I saw that they were doing that. You know, I didn't even know about the Mandela Effect when that happened. I had no idea about the Mandela Effect. I just thought, who is this guy? And what, you really believe that that's real? It's photoshopped is what I thought at the time. That's total photoshopped is what I thought at the time. That's bollocks, quite frankly. Even though I had no idea about the Mandela Effect. I was like questioning how this had happened and who this man was. But put it to the back of my mind. Right, and that was the Falcon's heavy payload of the Tesla Roadster in 2018. Unbelievable. Also, they have had 16 supply missions to the ISS, which has been partnered with NASA. So 16 times they've gone backwards and forwards to the ISS, allegedly. And NASA also awarded SpaceX a further development contract in 2011 to develop and demonstrate a human-rated Dragon, which will be used to transport astronauts to the ISS and return them safely to Earth. Which they just did. Dragon crew spacecraft, NASA required the demonstration flight, and they did that on March the 2nd this year, 2019. Apparently, they demonstrated that they could, send this Dragon crew spacecraft up and bring it back to Earth. They demonstrated that. So apparently, sometime within the rest of this year, 2019, they are actually set to launch with a crew to the ISS. Now, we all know about this new satellite thing that they've sent up. I'm not even going to go into that. I'm not even going to go into that. I'm going to leave it there, because you've seen that from 2002 to 2019, they've been really busy for 17 years. 17 years I've never heard of them for. Never. So I personally think that Elon Musk is he's a person from emerged reality. He's a person from emerged reality. I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying it like that. I'm just saying it quite so normally. But, I mean, that's freaky as, but I do. That's a conclusion I've come to. I've never even heard of this man. Never even heard of this man. And I follow up to date as much space information as I could get, believe me. I eat the information. You know, I need it. I always have done. I've always researched, I've always looked, I've always wanted to know the newest thing that's happening, especially with space. So Elon Musk, I truly believe he is a man that wasn't from my reality. He's a man from a merged reality. Apparently he started PayPal. I never heard that. I mean, we had PayPal, obviously, but we never knew who started it. Nobody even questioned that. But suddenly this man, he started PayPal. He's had this whole space thing going on for 17 years now. And yet I never heard of him. Never heard of him. And I just wondered whether you had and what your thoughts were on it. So that's the first of my videos today. The enigma that is Elon Musk. Have you heard, was he in your reality before? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? I just want to know what you think. Thank you, as always, for listening to my ramblings, my musings, and my randomness, my random thoughts, my rants, my meltdowns, and for sending your love, for sharing your stories, for being there for me. I really couldn't get through all this without you. So please, down below, let me know what you think about Elon Musk. And I will be back again shortly, because I'm going to make another video, but on a totally different subject. So I wanted to do this separately first. So please, let me know what you think. And until next time, see you in the next reality.